Hello students, welcome to this video lecturing on space forces. This is one picture which will help you to understand the concept of space forces. In this picture, this car is lifted with the help of these four cables which is attached at this hook point. So definitely when this car is lifted with the help of cables, the forces get developed in all the four cables. And if you see the picture, all these forces are supposed to be concentrated at this hook point. Means all the forces are meeting at this hook point, means this is nothing but concurrent force system in space. When you will try to find out the forces in the cable, you must draw the free body diagram. So when you draw the free body diagram, the free body diagram will look like this. So the line of action of all the forces in the cable are meeting at this hook point. So this is a concurrent force system in space. And if you observe the free body diagram, all these forces are in different plane. So this is also called as non-coplanar force system in space. Many problems like this in a real life which involve the three-dimensional space. So how will represent each of the cable force in Cartesian vector form, that we have to learn in this lecture. The force system which acting in a different plane is called as non-coplanar force system or space forces. First, we'll see concurrent force system in space. Component of force. First is plane force. Means when a force is present in two dimension, then we can resolve the force along x direction and along y direction. We can resolve the force along x, f cos theta, and along y, f sin theta. But when force is present in three dimension, means along x, along y, and along z, then we can resolve the force along x, y, z axis. And that is nothing but space forces. Before going to space forces, you must know the concept of unit vector in the direction of force. So any vector may be expressed in Cartesian component by using unit vector in the direction of that coordinate axis. So I, j, k are the unit vector in the direction of x, y, and z. Vector OP is directed from O to P. The coordinate of O are x1, y1, z1, and the coordinate of P are x2, y2, z2. Then if you write down the vector OP is equal to, then the vector FOP is equal to magnitude of FOP multiplied by lambda, where lambda is unit vector in the direction of O to P. So when you find out the unit vector in the direction of O to P, you have to do coordinate of P minus coordinate of O. Means x2 minus x1i plus y2 minus y1j plus z2 minus z1k divided by square root of x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square plus z2 minus z1 square. That is nothing but unit vector in the direction of O to P. So FOP vector is equal to magnitude of FOP multiplied by unit vector in the direction of O to P. So like this, we'll represent the vector for force in the equation. So that's all about the concept of unit vector. So for the analysis of problem in three dimension, it is necessary to resolve the force into three mutually perpendicular components. So the rectangular component in 3D system will look like this. This is one force which is present in three dimension, that is along x, y, and z. Then we can write down this force in the vector form is fxi plus fyj plus fzk, as ijk are the unit vector in the direction of xyz. So vector force is equal to magnitude of f multiplied by unit vector in the direction of force. So En we can write down fxi plus fyj plus fzk divided by the magnitude of that force. So we can resolve the fx along x direction f cos theta x, along y it is f cos theta y, and along z we can resolve f cos theta z. So if you have to find out the resultant of this force, then it will be equal to f, or resultant is equal to square root of fx square plus fy square plus fz square. And if you have to find out the direction of that resultant force, then it will be equal to theta x is equal to cos inverse of fx upon f, theta y is equal to cos inverse of fy upon f, and cos theta z is equal to cos inverse of fz upon f. Three-dimensional force system. If you see the image, in this image the electromagnet is pulled with the help of this 3 chain which is attached at this hook point. So when you have to find out the forces in this chain, develop forces in the chain, then you have to draw the free body diagram of this problem. So the free body diagram will look like this. So these forces in the chain are FB, FD, FC, and the electromagnet weight is acting in the upward direction. So the weight of the electromagnet and the loads are given. We can determine the forces in the chain. So this is nothing but the concurrent force system in space. So F1, F2 and F3 are the forces acting in space and meeting at the origin. So this is concurrent force system in space. So there are several forces in space, and if you have to find out the resultant of these several forces, then that resultant we can write down after calculating the summation of x, summation of y and summation of z. We can write down it is summation of xi plus summation of yj plus summation of zk is equal to resultant, where I, j, k are the unit vector in the direction of x, y and z. For which it is follows that x component of resultant will be equal to summation of x, y component of resultant is equal to summation of y, and z component of resultant is equal to summation of z. And the magnitude of the resultant angle theta x and the angle theta x, theta y, theta z that the resultant forms with the coordinate axis are obtained using resultant is equal to square root of rx square plus ry square plus rz square, and cos theta x is equal to rx upon r, cos theta y is equal to ry upon r, and cos theta z is equal to rz upon r. Step-by-step procedure to resolve the force in space. Firstly, you have to draw the free body diagram of the problem. This is one problem. In this problem, one balloon is held in this position with the help of these cables which is fixed at these points. So definitely there is a development of forces in these cables. And the another one is this. In this cylinder is held in this position with the help of these two wires. So if you observe these two images, in the first image XYZ axis is already given. But if you observe the second image where XYZ axis is not given. So firstly, you have to assume the XYZ axis in any suitable orientation as per convenience. And after that, you have to draw the free body diagram by showing known and unknown forces magnitude and direction on the diagram. So that is forces in the cables. Assume the direction of force having unknown magnitude. After that, you have to use the equation of equilibrium. Use the scalar equation of equilibrium in case where it is easy to resolve each force into XYZ components. And if the solution for a given force is negative, this shows that its direction is the reverse of the assumed direction in the free body diagram. So let us discuss the first numerical on concurrent force system in space. A tower guy wire is anchored by means of bolt at A. The tension in the wire is 2500 Newton. Determine the component Fx, Fy, Fz of the force acting on the bolt. And the second one is angle theta x, theta y, theta z defining the direction of force. This is the diagram for the given numerical. This is one tower which is held with the help of this wire which is anchored at this A point. And the tension in this wire is already given, which is 2500 Newton. We have to determine the component of this force in the cable AB along X, Y and Z. And also we have to find out the theta X, theta Y, theta Z of that force. So let us solve the numerical. So force is directed from A to B, and I, J, K are the unit vector in the direction of X, Y, Z. These are the assumed direction X, Y, Z, and I, J, K are the unit vector in the direction of that axis. So the line of action of force acting on the bolt passes through A and B. The force is directed from A to B. So the component of the vector AB, which has the same direction as force, R. So when you direct the force from A to B, before that you have to write down the coordinate of A and coordinate of B. If you observe the point A, the point A is on X and minus Z plane, means along X axis and minus Z. So the coordinate of A will be on X it is 40 meter and on Z it is minus 30 meter. The Y coordinate of that point will be 0 because that point is present only in XZ plane. So the coordinate of A will be 40, 0, minus 30. And if you observe the point B is exactly on Y axis. So its X and Z coordinate will be 0 only the y coordinate is present, so that is 0, 80, 0. Let us find out the force in the member AB. So when you write down the vector force AB, it will be equal to F bar AB is equal to magnitude of FAB into lambda. So lambda is the unit vector in the direction of A to B. So when you have to find out the unit vector in the direction of A to B, you have to do coordinate of B minus coordinate of A. That is x2 minus x1i plus y2 minus y1j plus z2 minus z1k divided by x2 minus x1 square root of x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square plus z2 minus z1 square. So let us assume coordinate of A is x1 y1 z1 and coordinate of B is x2 y2 z2. So it will be, the equation becomes F bar vector is equal to F into x2 minus x1, that is 0 minus 40i, then y2 minus y1, 80 minus 0j, and 0 minus of minus 30, that is 0 plus 30k, then divided by square root of that term. Then magnitude of F is already known to you, so it is 2500 Newton. Then equation becomes this: F bar is equal to minus 1060i plus 2120j plus 795k. So this equation indicates that the force is having its component along x, along y, and along z is this. That is, the component of the force therefore are Fx is minus 1060 Newton, Fy are 2120 Newton, and Fz are 795 Newton. And if you have to find out the direction cosines of that force, then it will be equal to cos theta x is equal to Fx upon F. Then you will have theta x is equal to 115.1 degree. Cos theta y is equal to Fy upon F. So Fy is this and net resultant force is this. So you will get theta y is equal to 32 degree and cos theta z is equal to Fz upon F. Then you will get the theta z is equal to 71.5 degree. Let us take another numerical on a concurrent force system in space. A transmission tower is held by 3 wires at B, C and D. If tension in AB is 2000 Newton, tension in AD is 1400 Newton and tension in AC is 1600 Newton, find the component of the forces acting at B, C and D. This is the given image or a given diagram for this question. This tower is held in this position with the help of these 3 cables AB, AC and AD. Tension in all these cables or all these wires is already given to you, which is the AB is 2000 Newton, AD is 1400 Newton and AC is 1600 Newton. So let us solve this numerical. So before solving the numerical, you must draw its free body diagram. So let us draw the free body diagram. So this is the free body diagram where the forces directions are given and xy axis is given. This is the x axis, this is y axis, and this is z axis. So I, j, k are the unit vector in that direction. Now before going to find out the force in the vector AD, AC and AB, let us find out first coordinate of these points. So start from point A. The coordinate of point A is x1, y1, z1. And if you see the point A is exactly on y-axis. So its coordinate will be 18, y is 18. Then its x and z will be 0. So the coordinate of A will be 0, 18, 0. Coordinate of B, if you observe the point B is on minus x-axis and plus z-axis. So it is on minus x is minus 3.5 and on z it is 5 meters. So the coordinate of B will be minus 3.5, 0 and 5. The next is point C. If you see the point C is on plus x and on plus z axis. On plus axis it is 12 meters, so it is x coordinate will be 12, y coordinate will be 0 and the z coordinate will be, if you observe, it is 3.2 meter, so it is plus 3.2. Last one is point D. If you observe the point D is on minus z axis and minus x axis. It is on minus z, it is 12.5 meters, so it is minus z is 12.5 and this is 3.5 is on a negative x axis, so it is minus 3.5. So x is minus 3.5, y is 0 and z is minus 12.5. So this is all about the coordinates of this point A, B, C and D. It is very important to write down these coordinates correct. Now let us find out the forces in the members. Forces in the wires. So we'll start it from first force in the wire DA. Now here we assume the direction from D to A, or we have taken the direction from D to A because we have to find out the component of the force at B, C and D. So here the force is directed from D to A. So the tension in the wire DA or TDA vector is equal to magnitude of TDA multiplied by unit vector in the direction of D to A. So when you have to find out the unit vector in the direction of D to A, you have to do coordinate of A minus coordinate of D. That is x1 minus x4i, y1 minus y4j and z1 minus z4k divided by square root of x1 minus x4 square plus y1 minus y4 square plus z1 minus z4 square. Now let us find out that unit vector. So x1 minus x4, that is 0 minus of minus 3.5, so it becomes 0 plus 3.5i, then 18 minus 0j and 0 minus of minus 12.5, so it becomes 0 plus 12.5k, square root of that term again. Then here the magnitude of tension in the wire DA is already known to us, that is 1400 Newton is already known to us. So that is 1400 divided by this term, that is 22.19, and we have equation of vector, that is 3.5i plus 18j plus 12.5k as it is. Then when you solve this equation, you will get the equation TDA vector is equal to 220.80i plus 1135.65j and 782.64k. So this is the force, and this is the having component of this force along x, along y and along z. We'll give the equation number 1 to this equation. Let us find out the next force. So this is again coordinates are same. We will start it from force in the wire CA. So we can write down TCA vector is equal to magnitude of TCA multiplied by unit vector in the direction of C to A. So again, when you find out the unit vector in the direction of C to A, you have to do coordinate of A minus coordinate of C. That is x1 minus x3i, y1 minus y3j and z1 minus z3k divided by square root of x1 minus x3 square plus y1 minus y3 square plus z1 minus z3 square. So let us find out that. So TCA vector is equal to TCA into this unit vector x1 minus x3, and this is 0 minus 12i, then 18 minus 0j and 0 minus 3.2k, square root of that whole term. Then magnitude of TCA, that is force in the wire CA, is already known to you. That is tension in CA wire is given 1600 Newton, and this whole term is 21.87. Then after calculation you will get this equation TCA vector is equal to minus 877.91i plus 1316.87j and minus 233.11k. So this equation indicates that these three forces, or we can say the component of these forces are x is this, along y is this, and along z is this. Let us give the equation number 2 to this equation. Next we'll see force in the next wire, that is wire BA. So the coordinate is again same. So TBA vector is equal to magnitude of TBA multiplied by unit vector in the direction of B to A. So when you do the unit vector in the direction of B to A, you have to do coordinate of A minus B. So A minus B means x1 minus x2i plus y1 minus y2j plus z1 minus z2k divided by square root of x1 minus x2 square plus y1 minus y2 square plus z1 minus z2 square. So let us find out that unit vector, that is 0 minus of minus 3.5, so it becomes 0 plus 3.5i, then it is minus 0j plus 0 minus 5k divided by square root of that term. Then magnitude of force in the wire BA is already known to us, that is 2000 Newton. The square root term calculation is this much, and this is the equation. We have 3.5i plus 18j minus 5k. After calculation you will get the equation TBA vector is equal to 368.42i plus 1894.74j and minus 526.315k. This equation again indicates that these three values is nothing but the component of these forces in x, y and z. Let us give the equation number 3 to this equation. Now we have three equations with us, that is first one is TDA vector, then TCA vector, and we have TBA vector. Okay. So when you have to find out the resultant of these three forces in space, then the equation becomes this: summation fxi plus summation fyj plus summation fzk is equal to resultant. Means we have to find out the summation fx, then we have to find out summation fy, and then we have to find out summation fz. As we know that this equation indicates the x, y and z component of this force, x, y and z component of this TCA, and x, y and z component of TBA. So when you find out summation fx, then you have to add x component of every force, means x component of TDA, x component of TCA and x component of TBA. When you have to find out summation of y, you have to add y component of TDA, y component of TCA and y component of TBA. And when you find out summation of z, you have to add z component of TDA, z component of TCA and z component of TBA. That is this. So here I have added all this summation of x, summation of y and summation fz. Now when you have to find out, this is a vector form of this resultant force. Now when you have to find out the magnitude of this resultant force, it will be equal to square root of that term, that is resultant is equal to summation fx square plus summation of y square, and this is summation of z square. This is summation of x, this is summation of y, and this is summation of z. Then we have a resultant value is equal to 4356.9 Newton. And that is the resultant of this all three forces in space. After that, we have to find out the direction of that resultant force, which is equal to cos theta x is equal to fx upon f. You will get that theta x is equal to 86.19. Cos theta y is equal to fy upon f. You will get theta y is equal to 3.812. And you will get cos theta z is equal to fz upon f. Then you will get the theta z is equal to 89.62. So this is nothing but the direction of the resultant force in x, y, z axis. So thank you, students. This is all about the space forces. If you like this concept of the space forces, you can press the like button, and if you have any doubt, you can give that doubt through the comment.